Good evening and welcome to the broadcast. My name is Jose Van Smith. I'm the executive producer of the Right Now television show. Seated with us today is the distinguished Mr. Wes Boklin. Paul, cut. I didn't like that. Help me, Wes. Come on, help me now.
Vulcan.
Vulcan.
Yep.
Paul, we got to do that again. All right, from the Clark City Foods, right?
Park City Foods.
All right, here we go. Okay. Oh, well. Wes Vulcan.
Vulcan, yep.
Good evening and welcome to the show. My name is Jose Van Smith. I'm the executive producer of the Right Now television show. We are a digital satellite broadcast network. We're located at 500 North Higgins and we record at the Missoula, at the MCAT television broadcast studios. The Right Now television network team focuses on empowering our youth, our seniors, our mentally and physically challenged community, those with special needs, veterans, all branches, and those in uniform. We are a nonprofit 501c3. You didn't like that?
No, keep going.
Oh, okay.
Damn it. Okay,
All
don't remind me, I'm just getting my jacket.
All right, is anybody, are any of our other members here?
Zia said she'll be here at 3. That's why I'm getting my jacket. I need to check my phone.
There's coat there.
That's mine.
Oh,
Huh,
Okay.
I don't remember where it is now.
All right, Paul, I'm just gonna, all right, we're gonna do it again.
That's it, you got it. I found my coat.
all right. Heath.
Good evening, and welcome to the broadcast. My name is Jose Van Smith. I'm the executive producer of the Right Now television show. Seated with us today is the distinguished Mr. Wes Vulcan, who is the executive director of the Clark Fork City Food Bank here in Missoula, Montana. Before I bring on our distinguished guest, I would like to just say a few words about the IMI Right Now television digital satellite broadcast network team. We are here to empower our youth, those who have issues emotionally, and also who may have had some run-ins with the law, with the legal, and with legal issues. We're also here to empower our seniors, disabled, mentally and physically challenged community, those with special needs, our veterans in all branches, and those in uniform. We are a nonprofit 501c3 public benefit corporation. And if you would like to join the IMI Right Now TV digital satellite broadcast network team, you may contact us by writing P.O. Box 17465, Missoula, Montana 59808. Or if you like to make a contribution, you may send donations, contributions, pledges, and support to P.O. Box 17465, Missoula, Montana 59808, and make checks payable to IMI Tri-State Alliance, a nonprofit 501c3 public benefit corporation. All donations, contributions, funding sources are tax deductible. And again, we are a public benefit corporation, and with the emphasis on empowering our youth, our troubled teens, our seniors, our disabled, mental and physical community, a physically challenged community, those with special needs, veterans, all branches, and those in uniform. We are located at 500 North Higgins in Missoula, Montana, in the great city of Missoula. We'd like to just commend our great city for the outstanding work that they're providing our citizens. We want to thank the work that the mayor and the wonderful people, our ward committeemen, are doing to keep our city progressive. We'd like to acknowledge Michigan Missoula's finest, the men and women who serve to keep our streets safe, and who serve professionally and with integrity. I'd like to also acknowledge the University of Montana Foundation, and I would strongly urge that you support them. Our friends over at the University of Montana Foundation, and Mr. Royce C. Engstrom, President of the University of Montana. Again, we would like to acknowledge our good friends at the University of Montana and the University of Montana Foundation. We also have a IMI Tri-State Alliance, Right Now TV. We're accepting volunteers for internship and digital TV production broadcasts. So if you're interested in becoming and learning more about digital television production or working with our network, please feel free again to contact us at P.O. Box 17465, Missoula, Montana 59808. We have a series actually that airs Mondays at 6 o'clock p.m. and Saturdays at 5 o'clock p.m. here in Missoula, Montana on the Charter Cable Channel 189. So if you'd like to come in to appear on our program, or if you would, we would appreciate if you tune in to the broadcast. And now at this moment, without any delay, I would like to introduce our distinguished pillar of the community and our guest, Mr. Wes Boken from Clark Fork City Foods. Mr. Boken, welcome to Right Now TV.
Well, thank you, Jay. As you know, I'm part of Clark Fork City Foods. I'm the director there currently and have been for the last 5.5 years, and I appreciate the opportunity to come down and visit with you this morning and visit with your viewers and just make them a little bit more aware of what it is that we offer through Clark Fork City Church. We're actually under the super church there as far as what we do with the ministry. They provide the location, they pay basically all of our overhead, our rent, and our expenses. So we're covered there, and I just want to thank them for their support of us, for this ministry that we get to just bless our community with. I've been the director there for the last 5.5 years. We're located, for those of you who don't know, we're at 2811 Latimer, which is the old Western Door building. We're right across kitty corner from Pacific Recycling, behind Target, so that will give most of you a landmark that you would recognize. And I want to invite any of you that would want to come and view our facility. We're open on Saturdays. Let me get that out there so everyone's aware. Our hours for our clients are Saturday mornings from 10 to noon. We also can set up appointments if anyone's interested in viewing our facility, if they would like to volunteer or be a part in any way of what we have there. You're welcome to come down. We're always excited to get new volunteers, more people that are wanting to help our community, help those who are challenged when it comes to their financial, where they're at in life. So. This year we're kicking off has been very busy. We have lots of clients. Our client base has been growing consistently over the last 3 to 5 years. At that point it really took off. In the last 3 years we've seen just continued sustained growth. which is good and bad. I'd rather we didn't have any need for clients, because I'd rather everyone were doing well and had food in the cabinets. But reality is, people do have hard times where they're between jobs, where they have illness, where they're unemployed through whatever means, by whatever method. So we're just glad to be able to serve our community by being there, by helping fill the gap for those who are in need. We've been located a couple different places over the years, but we've been in our current location since 2007, which is the time that I got involved there. So again, if any of you would like to come, if any of you need assistance, come down. We're a part of the Montana Food Bank Network. So we do have food that comes through federal agencies. We also purchase part of our products that we deliver to our clients. We're completely run by volunteers, starting with myself and all those that help out on every Saturday, or those that help even on Fridays. We have some orders that we receive on Fridays. Everyone from me to the ones that just show up for the first time, none of us make anything. We're all volunteers. So we are able to function on a very low budget amount. Our biggest expense is, aside from the food itself, is for gas, for insurance, for, just basic things as far as office supplies, keeping things running down there. So we can also use support. Any of you that have a heart that want to be involved, whether it's hands-on or whether it's just helping financially, we would invite you to come to be a part of that, to be in whatever extent that you would like to be involved. We have opportunities. There's people that work strictly with our clients that are handle the processing, the intake forms. There are those who really don't deal with the clients as much, but work in the back room as far as boxing the food or setting out the perishables, going through all of that. So and then we have those that go on the route, that pick up the food, that help out earlier before we are behind the scenes. They help out early before we even open our doors. So there are definitely opportunities for people with different skill levels, with different temperaments as far as how they would want to help. So I would encourage you to come. If you would like to, if you have a heart for that, if you have a vision for that, then come down and we'd be happy to put you to work, to give you an opportunity to help serve those that are in need. And as I did mention, we do get federal food. The state level, unfortunately, a few years ago, they kind of cut funding for all that, which we know, there's been financial hardship come, and part of what they did was cut part of the funding for that, but thankfully we still have the federal dollars that come. We get food that comes through the Montana Food Bank Network. So that is an availability, and we purchase a lot of our non-perishable food as well. So if you would want to help in any way with that, you can get onto our website. We're under Clark Fork City Church, which is the church that hosts our organization, that sponsors us basically. Again, they cover our rent, they cover our utilities, they cover most of our fixed expenses. But we still do purchase food. We still purchase staples, things that we have to, that are consumed, within the organization. So we do have financial need as well. So any of you that would have a desire to bless us with finances, that would be awesome. We would certainly welcome that. You can give with debit cards, credit cards on our website. If you go to clarkforkcitychurch.org, and you can click on a link there that will get you to City Foods, and that is where there's opportunity to give that way. Or if you're like me and you like to do things with paper, you can also send us a check or come by and make a donation at the front lobby there of the Ballantyne Center at Clark Fork City Church. We have staff that's there most office hours, and you can leave something that way as well. I don't know, do you have any questions for me that you'd like me to answer that you can think of, Jay?
Yes. First of all, I commend you for the outstanding work that you're doing in providing the citizens of the city of Missoula and the state of Montana, and the service that you are also rendering to the great nation of our nation. I am astonished to know that you're all serving on a volunteer basis.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And I strongly urge our viewing audience to support support the Clark Fork City Foods with your time. Cut them a check. roll up your sleeves, get involved. Because the work they're doing is they're meeting the needs of our citizenry, and an urgent and the most necessary demand to feed our community, to feed our children. Mm-hmm. There are homeless. I mean, we tend to overlook the fact that the economy has an effect on all of us. And when companies, when states cease to attract industries, then they cease to be able to facilitate the expansion of an economic system that will create jobs, that will in turn enrich in our communities, that will allow us to support our families. Mm-hmm. And in these times, this day and age, we must all work together. Community, a child, it takes a village to raise a child nowadays. And there is homeless. I mean, there's not only homelessness, but there's a great deal of poverty. And it's a silent. It's silent. It lurks in behind closed doors in our in our community. And we're honored to know that Mr. West, the executive director over at the Clark Fork City Foods, has taken the initiative to meet that challenge. We commend you, sir. Well, and if there's any way we at Right Now TV can support your initiatives, we would be more than honored. Again, we strongly ask you to support the great work that's going forward at the Clark Fork City Foods. Mr. Wes Boken, sir, if you will, could you give them the address where they might be able to come in the time that you do distribute food, mm-hmm. as well as when and how that person may be able to send you a donation or support.
Okay, certainly.
If you will, sir.
Absolutely. Like I say, we're located at 2811 Latimer, which is our mailing address as well as our physical address. We're located right behind Target on North Reserve. Most people know where Target is. We're across from Pacific Recycling, kind of right in that neighborhood there. If you want to get on our website and give online, we have a way of taking credit cards or debit cards. And you can get on clarkforkcitychurch.org and then click on the link for City Foods, and there's a way to give right on the website there. Also, you can drop a check by. Our hours are Saturday mornings. We are open from 10 till 12. And we stay open as long, if you get there before 12, we'll stay open to serve you. I know sometimes we end up running late, especially late in the month when the paycheck is run out for our families or the food stamps or whatever the sources are. So we do end up being there later, typically later in the month. We end up being there till closer to 1, but we still encourage you to come down before noon. Our official open hours are 10 to noon. If you're interested in volunteering, I usually get down there at 6 o'clock each Saturday morning. We get things opened up, get the coffee put on, we start going through the produce, through the perishables that we already have in inventory. We get ready, the route truck goes out, usually at 7. We pick up from our Albertson stores. We go to the current Safeways, which are now the Fresh Market stores. We pick up what we get from Costco as far as perishable goods. So we do have a pretty extensive route that we run. We have different ones that go and do that, so we can always use help with that if any of you are interested in that and have a desire. Then we have those who handle and go through the perishables, because a lot of times we get things that need to be cleaned, that need to be gone through, some that's not usable and some that is, so we cull out the stuff that's not. Like I say, we have people that package things. We go through and do all of our intake forms. We have new clients each week, and we're dealing with them as far as getting their paperwork ready. So like I say, there's just many levels in which you could get involved. But again, I usually get down there at 6, and we just begin working with those that are there. It's all volunteer operated. There's no one that's on staff, no one that's paid in any way. And we just go down there and we have a great time working together. It's vision that we have to see people get food on their plates. So thankfully, we have stores in Missoula that are very cooperative, that are behind us, that support us. We get perishables from all the major grocery stores, and we're just thankful for that. So I would like to thank each of you stores in the Missoula market just for your participation in this. You're the ones that ultimately have a very large part of making this work. As Jay mentioned, we're interested in feeding kids. We're interested in taking care of those who are homeless. For those of you in Missoula who don't know, I mean, it's easy to drive down Reserve Street and you see someone holding a piece of cardboard and you assume that that's the largest part of the market, when in fact it isn't. I mean, we do have a homeless clientele for sure, but the largest part of our families are people that have homes. They end up having an unexpected vehicle expense. They end up having something where they're laid off for a couple weeks or they're between jobs. And most of our resources go to families. It's not just to the homeless that you picture on the street that you think, oh yeah, those are the needy in Missoula. The most that we serve are people that really do just have a once-in-a-lifetime thing or a freak thing that comes up in their life and causes them to be stretched beyond what their budget can afford. So we are there just to meet those needs. Last year, for 2014, our average visits per household was just over 4 visits. So that means for each customer, each client that we had come in 2014, the average return rate was they would come back 3 times. So it's not the chronic people that a lot of people would assume. It's not the ones that come week after week, month after month. It's people that come just 2 or 3 times because they just hit a hard spot. They hit a spot where they're paying, maybe medical bills or vehicle expenses or something like that.
And that's life, sir.
And that's life, yeah.
That happens.
Yeah, so it's not like we're just consistently feeding those that you picture as being those that are in need, but we're servicing those who just have hit a hard spot in life.
They also serve you with dignity, serve you with a smile. I happen to have firsthand bear witness to how the courtesy and respect that you receive when you go to Clark Fork City Foods. You know, most people tend to feel, you may be hesitant about seeking for provisions, but it's nothing to be ashamed of. I mean, we all go through things in life, and it's in the going through. It's how we rise that determines who we. It determines who we are. It's not the fall. We all fall down, but you get up. And on that note, we're going to pause for a moment to acknowledge our corporate sponsors, our donors, our supporters, and our affiliates. After which we'll come back with the distinguished Mr. Wes Boken, who is the Executive Director of the Clark Fork City Foods, to discuss more of the initiatives and things that they have going forward when we return. Welcome to Right Now Television. Today at the MCHAT Studios at 500 North Higgins is our distinguished guest, Mr. Shuffles. Welcome, Mr. Shuffles, to the show.
Thank you very much.
Oh, you're very welcome, sir, and welcome to Right Now Television.
Okay.
Could you tell us a little bit about your history, sir?
Well,
Excuse me. Allow me to introduce Mr. Mike Fellows, one of our distinguished members of our community.
nice to meet you.
Mr. Shuffles, if you will.
Well, as you can see, we got Las Vegas here. And as you know, what plays in Vegas stays in Vegas. But I'll tell you a little bit about this. What you see now is a lot of the new Las Vegas. When I got there, start my professional dance career in the 70s, most of those hotels are all gone. They've all been imploded for these large venues that you see now in Las Vegas if you happen to go there to visit. But it took me there to start my professional dance career in the 70s. And it was funny, is the first show that I got to do at the Aladdin Hotel was for the Las Vegas Entertainment Awards Show. And so you saw all the stars who played in Vegas at that time, the Rat Pack and all of them. And then as full circle goes, before I left Las Vegas in actually 1996, I was performing at the Aladdin Hotel, where I was a featured performer and also a choreographer of the show. And the show ran 5 years at the Aladdin until they imploded it. And they didn't want to lose this show, so they asked me to go to Branson, Missouri to re-choreograph this show. So quite a change in environments from Las Vegas to Branson, Missouri. So during my career through Vegas, first in the chorus line, and kind of worked myself up to become a featured performer and then also a choreographer, and I got to perform with a lot of stars, got to dance with the famous Nicholas Brothers and Della Reese, and Red Fox, who had the Sanford and Son show, and numerous other famous legends in tap dancing, which helped me hone all my skills today. With really, back to the Nicholas Brothers, the thrill of having that duo jam with me backstage in my dressing room and trade steps was absolutely phenomenal point. As I knew their background, I was like, Nicholas Brothers are going to jam with me? And they were such a great, humble pair, brothers. And as a child, when I would dance around for the family, as you know, people came over and they'd say, "Oh, let's get him up and show us some tap dancing," and I would get up and I would do something, and they would say to me, "So you're Fred Astaire, huh?" And I would say, "No, I'm Donald O'Connor." And years later in Las Vegas, Peggy Ryan, who had cast me as her lead tap dancer in a musical she was choreographing, had done over 22 films in Hollywood with Donald O'Connor. And so I got to meet Donald O'Connor and see his show at the Dunes, which is no longer there. And so after a 10-year span where I was still performing and teaching during the days, Donald was going to come do a show again at the Hilton. And so he called Peggy Ryan and he said, you know, who can I get to back me up? And she goes, well, Scott Nichols, Mr. Shuffles. And so I'm just sitting at my desk at the dance studio in Las Vegas, and I get a phone call from Donald O'Connor. And he says, are you available to back me up at the Hilton? Peggy Ryan says, you're my man. So kind of taken back, you know, you clear your calendar for something like that. And so Donald was fantastic in rehearsal and to work with and just talk to on the side. And then through meetings of people like that, having a dance studio in Las Vegas, some of the better hoofers, tap dancers, would come to my studio. And this gentleman walked in, his name was Bernard Manners, and he said, I heard you're a tap dancer. So I said, yeah, and he said, well, let's jam. So we jammed, and then he said, you know, Gregory Hines is coming to town. He's a personal friend of mine. Let's go over and I'll introduce you to him. So if you've seen Gregory Hines in films, and he did the movie Tap, and was raised and did shows in Vegas, it was called Hines and Dad. So it was Gregory Hines, his brother Maurice, and his father. And he did a feature movie called Tap. And so we went over and met Gregory Hines, and he saw me come in with Bernard, who we knew what Bernard's skills were. So he had said to me, wow, came in with Bernard. let's see you lay down some steps. So, you know, I went into a few steps, and he said, hey, keep going. So he picked it up, and then Bernard picked it up, and then there was some students that came in, and we ended up teaching a step that Bernard did, my step, and a step that Gregory did, and it was quite a thrill, again, to have danced with him. But probably one of my most memorable things, really, and my very first paid professional performance was in San Francisco, where I was born and raised, and trained in tap, jazz, and ballet. And the Leningrad Kiev Ballet from Russia was in town, and they were auditioning dancers to perform with them at the Opera House in San Francisco. And I was lucky enough to get picked from that audition and danced with them and got my first paycheck as a professional dancer at the age of 12, dancing at the Opera House with these incredible Russian dancers and the full-blown orchestra. It was really something that made me say, yeah, I want to do this. This I love. And so I guess...
Could you give us a step? Could you show us a move?
And so, like I said, I was trained in all forms of dance, and to be a successful dancer when I went to Vegas, you had to be a good production jazz dancer. So, you know, I was on the Las Vegas strips, and I was loving some of the choreography that I was able to do, you know, very strong stuff that I felt like for a male dancer that went a little bit, you know, like, So as you can see, I'm not just a tap dancer. I can do all forms of dance. I hope you've enjoyed a little bit of my history here, and come see us at Shuffles Dance Studio, where I'm now teaching tap.
And where is that located, sir?
And we're located at 500 Higgins, red brick building on the corner of Higgins and Spruce. You can't miss me there, and I'm teaching all ages, adults, teens, children, and all levels from beginning, intermediate, and advanced. So give me a call and come sign up where I'll be teaching you.